afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one and the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Langraskaya. In the south it is VonAsten, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. The 6th Armored Division is tasked with breaking through the lines here held by Ashablois, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Holding the line here with the 15th Panzergrenadier Division. We got Spearhead, Osttruppen and German Mechanized versus Armour Company, Heavy Cavalry and Mechanized Company with an MG4 Grenadier start there for Ashablois. VonAsten with a double rifleman, standard stuff there from both sides. Nothing that's going to leave you shocked. VonAsten there. Ooh. In a slightly shocking move, actually cancels the 2nd Rifle Squad and actually goes for an armour build with Assault Engineers. So, interesting slight shift here in strategy. Armour Company, of course, used to be a lot more popular, though it has slightly phased away, but there's still some players who make use of it. It does seem to be making a slight return as of late. I'll got those 5 assault engineers moving out there, grease guns in hand, the grease gun being an attempt by the US Army to come up with a cheaper and lighter submachine gun than the Thompson, which, while certainly powerful, was also quite heavy and, well, rather expensive, even for the US Army, which had a lot of money. So, little sort of fun note there. Reasons there, grabbing the fuel point, grabbing the munitions, assault engineers moving eastwards there, going a bit more aggressively. Ashablois, very interesting move, is focusing hard west, which you rarely see from a northern player. Usually they want to focus on the east side, but Ashablois here is overall making a very concerted effort for the western fuel point, it seems. Today is a very unusual Wehrmacht opening actually here for Langraskaya, and only just a very unusual north player opening on Langraskaya. I'm sure VonAsten is going to be caught a bit off guard by this because you just don't see it. Grenadiers there moving in. Might also be heading westwards or centrewards. Rather, we'll have to see there. Reason's being taken apart by the Pioneers and MV42. Could see wipe here. VonAsten isn't quick enough to get them out of there. Rifleman backing up here, at least finding some sort of covering fire. But once the MV42 arrives, that's going to fall a bit apart there. Grenadiers moving in. Yep, seems like Ashablois is focusing centre-west. That is just so unusual. We'll of course have to see how VonAsten reacts. He's going straight for these some fuel point. Of course, at this point, he's going to be figuring out, hang on, this isn't how they usually play. And we'll of course see how it will just try to figure that one out. Go around here, the western fuel from the MD42 rifle popping into the house here. 3rd Grenadiers going away there for Ashablois. And the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. VonAsten continues up the eastern side here. The rifleman to back up the assault units in case Ashablois pulls a fast one there on VonAsten. Rifleman there making it pretty difficult there for Ashablois to deal with it, since there's a lack of immediate ways to just flash them out. No mortars or anything like that. And it's a pretty strong position for infantry with the 4 windows on this side covering the area here, so it's going to be very difficult. Plus, not a good cover to otherwise deal with the building. But it's going to be rifling assault by Grenadiers. Grenadiers getting some hits, but there you go, Racing's moving in. Can the Grenadiers get enough damage in? They might have a chance with Rifle. No, the Rifle will tear them apart since they have a 50% DPS advantage up close over Grenadiers. So there you go. Right, in this case, Racing's moving in, Assault is moving in. Up north, Grenadiers got there, moving ahead. No take up yet there for Ashablois. That probably should be priority, pushing out some light vehicles, trying to flank about here. Rifle falling away from here. Again, very unusual opening from Ashablois, which is really sort of, shall I say, changed how this map is currently being played. As in this match, I'm not saying you should somehow, create an entirely new paradigm for the map, which just causes everyone else to play the map differently. Just in this map, it's definitely creating a different sort of play experience. And this is reinforcing. Cutoff point hit. Not it's going to matter much for the west side, since the cutoff point's around here. But it's still interesting. Flamethrowers up there for Ashablois. We got barbed wire hidden eye cover there that way. Almost got the eastern fuel point. VonAsten here is certainly handling this reasonably well. MG42 is going to have to deal with this. We've got another MG42 in there for Ashablois. But right here, not the best setup. Not the best. Grenadiers Pioneers bringing assault units out in the open here. Grenadiers getting that 2-1. No tech up yet. Here's we've got a triple Grenadier double MG42 build up from Ashablois. Really not the usual, though again not super unusual. Lieutenant there for VonAsten with the 50 caliber following up. Now grabbing the western fuel point. Just lots of back and forth here, lots of manoeuvring, and there you go, mines up. They're getting caught here with MG4 to the Grenadiers. MG4 sitting out again, take up their first block, very good. And there you go, opening up the assault units here, suppressing them swiftly and routing them. And as all this is happening, going for the cutoff on there. Just absolute loads and loads of action here. Assault units being pushed back, 50 cover opening up here from the south, threatening there the Grenadiers soon anyways. Around the cutoff point here, MG4 moving up, it should be engaged with the echelons, moving for the centre victory point. Fuel point on the west there, southwest, rendered neutral there by VonAsten. Almost got the cutoff point here, Grenadiers can grab, but they have to retreat after that. back here, continue fighting. Grenadiers moving up to sort of help flush out the Americans there. Sandbagging by the centre victory point up north. 5 inches hold up against the Grenadiers and the MD-42 there. Take up down there for Ashablois. And here the fighting continues as well. Their Serbians by as much time as possible, tying up 2 units lying for Langraskaya to gain local superiority elsewhere. Then we've got now punishment to deal with that. Sandbags they're finished, but not grabbing the point. He's deciding that it's more pressing to get out the reactions to free up the Grenadiers and the MD-42, which actually makes a lot of sense there for Ashablois. Pretty much meaning that's 2 units now freed up to push towards the west for VonAsten. So nice play there, but Ashablois realised what was actually needed. Back here, the troops reinforcing. Probably need to get a second Pioneer squad to build up because the Pioneers are not going to be pulled back anytime soon. Ambulance almost done. Whew, so much action happening here. This has been an absolutely intense match within the first sort of 6 minutes. Just not the sort of usual stuff there, but that only makes it more exciting. Wiring off there, very good. Ambulance arriving here to patch up VonAsten's beleaguered and battered men. Of North Ashablois continue forward as well there for the fatherland. I mean, theoretically, could also go for Mechanized and call in a 250 half-tech just to sort of rush out of light vehicle against VonAsten, put some pressure that way. That could also be an option, and that's also, I don't think, be bad. I mean, again, it could surprise VonAsten further and just give Ashablois a great dose of mobility, which could further leave VonAsten reeling and just sort of struggling to keep up with the extreme pace here of Ashablois' tactics. But it looks like it's going to be the second Pioneer squad just for the Light Mechanized Company, and that's also a pretty good move. But I'm just saying, Mechanized could also be a potentially nice and just interesting move. Like to Mechanized Company up there, grab an eastern victory point here. VonAsten acts as a small leader of Ashablois here. Pioneers Grenadiers flanking in here, very good. Good use of the machine guns well there by Ashablois. No light machine guns yet there for any of Ashablois Grenadiers. Adding those could be very good, of course. Here there's all the infantry, and there you go. VonAsten trying to swing around here, getting past the MD-42 in the centre and hit the right side there, which is much weaker now for Ashablois as all the efforts of once more going into the west. So nice play there for VonAsten, following up with the Stuart light tank for some more armoured support. And that's going to hurt Ashablois, who's getting a 2-2 now, but otherwise has no anti-tank weapons and has also not had any consideration for laying down telemines, which could catch up any sort of vehicles. Oh, there you go. Spoke too soon. We got telemines here in the west. Might work out there. We'll have to see if VonAsten doesn't go for some mines but soon, because he might begin, wondering, is my opponent likely to go for them? We go more strips of barbed wire to double layer. Basically, seems to be something that's been realised here, that not necessarily just wiring off once works. So double wiring seems to be increasingly common here. It's catching on. There's a way to just try and make more easily secure, deny them, cover the opponent. There is. Grab the fuel point in the east. Grab the one in the west there for Ashablois the Germans. 15th Panzer going to do to keep up pace with VonAsten and the 6th Armoured. Got the info Stuart 1 up, moving up on the west side. Could hit the telemine. I don't think we're seeing any minesweepers here for VonAsten, so this could explode right in VonAsten's face. Oh, yes! Telemine there paid off. A massive blow to VonAsten. Stuart light tank is gone. That is just a lot of fuel and munition, manpower, perhaps the munitions gone there in the blink of an eye. That's a big tactical win there for Ashablois. And it's definitely going to leave VonAsten, I imagine, feeling a bit sour. That's why he once had a light tank, he now has scrap that's on fire. 2-2 taking damage engine there from the anti-tank rifle grenade. Ashablois just keeps up the intense pressure here. This is VonAsten. Weapon reaction not quite happening yet. Rifle routed. Now the 5th Cavalry here to help deal with infantry and also put pressure on the light vehicles with some armor piercing rounds if it comes down to it. Not a bad idea at all. Driving back the western fuel point. Lots of fuel games between these two players. Return here as the MD-42 in the far west as well there. Looks like the Lieutenant will win this unless someone is poking the head a bit out too far, which can be a bit hard to tell here, but doesn't look like it. Otherwise the MD-42 could have a chance at suppressing the unit before it becomes too much of a problem, but if not, the MD-42's... Oh, there we go, actually managed it. Close one though. Medic bunker there, Grenadiers following up. Still no sign of light machine guns there for Ashablois. That definitely seems like a bit of an oversight. I mean, unless, Ashablois planning something else, you really kind of want some light machine guns for your Grenadiers. I mean, unless you got veteran squad leaders and G43s, but Ashablois doesn't have any of those things. Plus, if it was G43s, probably would have gone for, doctrine with it sooner. Instead, there's no doctrine. Mortar for Ashablois, a bit of artillery support, not a bad idea, but definitely a very infantry-intensive strategy here. With infantry combined arms and a bit of light vehicles to back it all up, but no sign of doctrine there. And it also is interesting, again, infantry sort of oriented doctrine, but not really a lot of doctrine of play, but not really a lot of doctrine directly supported. The first with the Ostorden, with trenches, the artillery field also, and the supply drop. But the other two don't necessarily nearly as much back it up, so it's a bit curious as to what Ashablois is playing at. Pioneers of the corner, really bad spot, they're going to get wiped here. unless Ashablois gets incredibly lucky, which is exactly what happens. That's impressive in a way. Grenadiers bring up for the Pioneer, support still on silent machine guns. Another stood for VonAsten. And he hasn't even gone for minesweepers. He is clearly feeling the Stuart light tank is his best choice at the moment here versus Ashablois, and so regardless of the potential of another Telemine, is going to go for another Stuart light tank and hope, there isn't a Telemine down there. Loading VonAsten is mining up himself, very good. Lieutenant here, backed up by the machine gun in place there by the base, is dealing with the grenades by the calf point, still sees the calf point hit and rendering half of VonAsten territory out of supply. Rough stuff. And there goes holding flank up with the grenadiers. Got a single fifth cover current on the west side here, making it harder there for Ashablois to sneak through. Good work. Almost got the assault engineers, but not quite. Damage engineer in the 2-2. Both munitions point by way and VonAsten's control. I mean, he's got a lot of munitions. I mean, he would definitely benefit from weapon mechs with BARs and bazookas to put some serious pressure there on Ashablois at the moment. Ashablois, meanwhile, I don't think we're seeing any sign of tech up there, and certainly no additional telemines. That could be wrong there. No, doesn't look like it. Looks like Ashablois was not anticipating a second Stuart light tank, which is possibly why VonAsten went forward. I mean, some players will just lay down a single mine and that's it. Which is honestly a bit sloppy. So hopefully VonAsten also lays down some more. But either way, though, seems like Ashablois again was simply not expecting another Stuart. But even say, if Ashablois wasn't, expecting bigger tanks, telemines could still be good and just make it easier to deal with. Sherman hitting a telemine is going to be in a very poor condition. It can easily be finished off by, say, Sherman or Stug. Or since it's armor, M10 tank destroyer hitting a telemine is also in a pretty bad condition, or the bulldozer Shermans. I mean, there's always reason to go for telemines if you're expecting any kind of vehicle or armor, really. I mean, unless your opponent is specifically going to rush in ambulances trying, to disable them, but even then they're actually paying a lot of manpower just to do it like that, so... Anyways, machine gun wiped out, a bit of blow there to Ashablois, and the German army pioneers trying to get close. But the thing is, you can't actually crew a weapon while you're suppressed. So instead, VonAsten is able to rush up with reactions and then nab it. Nice play there. Bit of a loss there for Ashablois, now going for the Pack 40, indicating... I mean, I think I'd know it with the take up now and push for some armor, but it's going for the Pack 40, which is clearly indicating that Ashablois is worried about VonAsten here. Perhaps not isn't too confident. Or just really hates that Stuart. I mean, that's also a possibility. We do finally have some light machines up there for Ashablois grenadiers, which is very good. Sehr good even. Panzerfire assault there. Back here we do get the weapon max for VonAsten. I mean, he's got a lot of munitions thanks to having those domination point. There we go. MG42 number 2 being flanked here. This time Ashablois is much faster to get out of there before risking handing over another MG42 to VonAsten. I mean, he's already got 3 machine guns. He doesn't need a 4th. I mean, he could do quite well with it, probably, but, Ashablois should not be donating his machine guns to him. Mine there being cleared out. Ashablois, meanwhile, has gone for minesweeper. Also there, VonAsten has finally decided, you know what? He might need a minesweeper just in case. Mortar fire raining down. Pack 4 landing a nice hit in the Stuart light tank. MG42 holding forwards. No take-up yet for Ashablois. This is the Tiger Storm with Spearhead. I mean, I would say it's pretty early to try and do that. And Ashablois in that regard would just be better off pushing for medium tanks than trying to stall here for a Tiger tank. Hell, rushing out a Sturmpanzer or a Panther would be much better than trying to stall for a Tiger tank. I like to be going for the Stuart light tank, doing some nasty damage there. These VonAsten trying to launch an assault. Their double machine guns backing up. Their grenadiers being met with a hailstorm of bullets. But as all this is happening, though, Ashablois cleverly snuck up the grenadier squad, take the western fuel point there. Very good. They're denying VonAsten crucial fuel, even as VonAsten's looking to do the same to Ashablois. But Ashablois is not making it easy at all. Take without fighting happening. Very good. Sehr good. And we got the BARs being added to the rifleman and the lieutenant. Very good work there. Going to use in a bit of trouble there. We got the student moving up as well here. Reason's moving in, and no bazookas on them, though that's less of a priority, I guess, for the moment. Hitting the eastern fuel point. We got the 2-2. We got Pioneers moving up here. 5th Caliber could assist here with some up-piercing rounds. Was the 2-2. Pioneers taking fire. Getting punched there with some armor-piercing rounds. There we go, doing some heavy damage here. Worth knowing that 50 caliber can actually move about. While it has armor-piercing rounds loaded, an MG42 on the hand will automatically cancel it and send the armor-piercing rounds from moving about. It's a fun little distinction there, which is worth keeping in mind. 50 caliber there caught by the MG42 head on, not good, but we got the MG42 from VonAsten and the student getting the MG42, which then ends up punishing Ashablois there for a really bad spot. Mortar fire raining down here, moving further west to the Eastons, very good. Both fuel points there more or less under control of VonAsten. They need to connect the other one, and there you go. Riflenet almost takes out Riflenet in the east. Stubbing in here, Ashablois there, definitely going for some armor and needs it soon because Ashablois is very much as grounded to VonAsten and the 6th Armoured. Kicking in the door here and appearing right before the Grenadiers and meeting them with some vengeful fire there, point blank range, bars and Thompsons. Troops are reinforcing, healing, nothing further going on there for VonAsten, no sign of tech up yet. They would most certainly benefit from it sooner and faster. And I do believe it's actually happening now, there we go. Ashablois meanwhile is not far off from going for the Panzer IV. Stood fixed up. We got the vehicle crew there with their own set of Thompsons. MG43 there you go. Tearing large big holes into the 2-2 point blank range and causing it to be abandoned. But there you go. We got incendiary armor back from Ashablois on the American MG42, doing heavy damage. We're now taking a chance fire there as well. Good lord. Gripping stuff. There we go. Panzer IV on the way there for Ashablois. And these 15th Panzer Grenadiers. Sent in from the nearby 2nd Panzer Division, since a Panzer Division usually does not have access to Panzers, only Stubs, maybe some Marders. Pioneers in the eastern fuel point here, moving ahead. Looks like the 5th cover there has bugged up. That is very unfortunate there for VonAsten. Very unfortunate. Unit wiped out here in the center, MG42 wiped out. Sherman, those are these available, but doesn't quite have the resource for it. Panzer IV is right about down there for Ashablois. More pressure on the rest would also be good. Maybe some punts are going to deal it, but this is really awkward there for VonAsten. Got the lieutenant, the assault is charging forwards here. Still, VonAsten has been doing pretty well here versus Ashablois. Ashablois is struggling a bit here to keep up now with VonAsten's aggressive pacing. Nice mortar hit there on the assault engineers. Would definitely benefit from a pendulum machine gun. Great hit here on the 5th caliber. Moving up the side here with the Pioneer with the Minesweeper. And now the guy's just doing the boogaloo, and there you go, machine gun crew wiped. Grenadiers moving up, and there we go, we got the M10 tanks on the way there for VonAsten, the Wolverine as it is known. Looks like Ashablois is looking to destroy it, probably realising it's back, so might as well not have it around. There you go, 50 caliber destroyed. We got start with the Grenadiers. M10 tank destroyed almost done, based on the Sherman chassis and equipped with a 3-inch gun. It also had the option for adding service, say, additional armour to the tank destroyer. I don't think that was ever done, or at least it was very rarely done. Grenadiers and Panzer fires in the Steel Light tank. Nice hit there. M10 moving ahead. Panzer on to fire there from it. Takes a great hit here from the M10. Shots flying all over the place. Now they're quite heading. Fixing up the Steel Light tank with its damaged engine.
German forces tracking on 300 points.
Ashablois still short a doctrine here. I mean, we're almost at the 20-minute mark, and Ashablois still remains a bit hesitant there. Not necessarily what I'd call good. Tellermine spotted, destroying, at least attempting to. and none of them are just quite heading. You might as well just try and sweep it, to be honest. But Ashablois, VonAsten is determined to set it off. The descending express by the MD42. There we go. Telemine finally set off. Graham needs some victory point. Noting here that VonAsten does have a lead over Ashablois. So despite again the solid early lead here, Ashablois is not quite able to solidify that into sort of a victory point lead. Now VonAsten is going for a mortar of his own. He's had enough of the German one, in which is to silence it permanently.
Order team, ready for orders.
And we got a command tank out. We got Mechanized there for Ashablois. That's going to be interesting there. It's going to be useful as the infantry can, of course, make the Panzer falls a bit tougher, plus any other units around the command tank. But beyond that, we'll have to see. And what, for that matter, what Ashablois does for the rest of the doctrine. Troops in the centre, duking it out as we got a bigger push on the west. Command tank and Panzer IV. East side there's opening up. Here's a VonAsten needs to threaten Ashablois' fuel point. Troops in the centre here are routed by VonAsten's MD42, and there goes to technically from the Pack 40.
Capture point is being overrun.
Troops healing reinforcing. M10 tank destroyer hanging a bit back. That's all news. They're going to hit the eastern fuel point, lay down mines as well in the process. Very nice. Lieutenant moving forward straight into the command of the Panzer IV's line of fire. We got the command tank nearby, and they're going up the raft inside the house. M10 tank destroyer going out. And direct hit there on the Panzer IV by the M10 tank destroyer before quickly zipping away. Relying on hit and run tactics, and in sort of in a more slug out fight that the M10 is going to lose. So nice play there. Western Field up being seized here by Ashablois Grenadiers again. Counter-attacking these two with Grenadiers and Pioneers. Nice work. VonAsten's mortar hanging back here.
Captain just took the battlefield.
Soldiers in the east round. We got a captain out here for VonAsten. Probably wants to go for some anti-tank guns. Maybe pack houses. I think the BAR there swiftly. Very good work.
Capture point is under attack.
And there you go. M1 anti-tank gun to assist with further anti-tank firepower. Pioneers being suppressed by the eastern victory point. Here's the eastern fuel point secure up with the Grenadiers. Bit of a standover. Then we got more machine guns for Ashablois to try and, I guess, contain VonAsten's infantry. Not a bad idea.
Troop level barrage now available.
So VonAsten's got all three of the command posts. Stuart sending out, backed up with the M10. We got Vetchi 2 there, 7 kills and getting the Grenadiers out in the open. M10 waiting it. There we go. Tanks pushing forward straight into the line of fire. Panzer IV gets a good hit there. Stuart taking fire there from the command tank. Anti-tank gun is arriving, but it's happening at a bit of a slow pace. M10 there, Veterans 1, very good. Could try the A2 round, so a bit of increased armor penetration accuracy. MD42 wiped out there by Ashablois Panzers. Got round for counter-attacking, but the Stuart all the way over here as the reclaims the western fuel point for Ashablois and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer IV with a damaged engine. Nice work there by VonAsten. And these more skirmishing and more being assaulted by the lieutenant. Oh, they're going to need to move away from the fuel point by accident. That's unfortunate. Return in the centre, they're being suppressed. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. Grenadiers continuing onwards, not grabbing the eastern fuel point there, delaying any sort of further tanks, I would imagine, here for Ashablois. And there you go, smoke signals as well there from VonAsten to carry up the lieutenant's advance. Very nice work. Thumbs up there to VonAsten. Deeper skirmishing in the west. And a machine gun bunker up here from Ashablois. Very interesting setup there to cover the victory point there. We had 258 versus 338. M10 on the move again here in the far west. Got the shooters, the Grenadiers. That's a very lopsided engagement unless Ashablois can bring up some anti-tank support for the Grenadiers. Artillery and anti-tank gun fire there, destroying Ashablois machine gun bunker. Nice idea, but I do feel like that was perhaps a bit too sort of straightforwardly positioned. And probably a bit over around here, or I think far east might have worked out better as well there for Ashablois rather than right in front of the victory point. Then this is rounded by the stoop. We've got the M10 tank swimming up, so they're trying to get a few hits there with its 3-inch gun, but it is not quite handling it, or landing it. Command tank being fixed. Can soon go for additional Panzerforce, those Stuks would not necessarily be a bad choice here. There's also the other option of, say, going for a howitzer. Some artillery there could give Ashablois a way of breaking up some of VonAsten's defences, and could be simply another surprise here that VonAsten might not be quite ready for and not quite positively surprised by. Pushing to the zone, they've got the infantry there backed up with the command tank being a bit harder there for them to clear on. Troops being suppressed here. M10 that gets a good hit on the Panzer IV. And there you go. Further casualties causes VonAsten to break off the assault, as it's proving to be too hazardous. Back here, nothing further happening for Ashablois. And there we go. We do actually get a howitzer here, the Leichte Feldhaubitze 18. Well handled, it could prove to be a problem there for VonAsten. Less well handled, it's just going to be a waste of resources. Fifth caliber firing away, mortar firing away. Mines being laid down there by VonAsten. Very good, very good. U-42 reinforcing. Howitzers halfway done. We got Shums and Lloyd for VonAsten, bringing up some regular tanks. M10 moving ahead. Good hit there on the command tank. Fun fact about the M10 tank destroyer. The Americans called the Wolverine, though they're not entirely sure where the name came from. But the British called it the Achilles, and that includes also the version they had of it that actually had its 17-pounder gun. Both versions of that tank destroyer by the Americans or the British called the Achilles. So a little fun fact there. We got smoke reconnaissance in here from Ashablois. Likely looking to try and figure out what VonAsten's up to, but also likely looking for targets for the howitzer. So that's going to hurt VonAsten a bit there, likely. Rather than return assaulting the gunners, and he's got the command tank moving up. Rifleman routed. First shot misses a bit. Second shot misses as well. The M10 taking heavy hits here from the Panzer IV on the anti-tank gun. There we go. Direct hit on the 50 caliber crew, wiping out entirely. That's something there for Ashablois and the howitzer. Looks like most of the shots that are missing. Close one there. Back here, repairs going on. West side seems largely VonAsten here, mortar firing from behind the ruins of a house, making it a bit harder for Ashablois to hit with artillery. Mortar there is closing immensely free. Back here, troops are reinforcing, healing. M10 almost good to go there once more for VonAsten and the 6th Armoured Division. Panzer's holding up here in the east, very good. I think should consider more pressure on the left flank here, or consider maybe a deeper flank here for the east versus VonAsten. Needs to be careful not to resolve from tunnel vision. All set for pop cap now, so no armor there's an option. Again, taking up in this case is also usually a good idea. Then set up that way if you sort of begin losing tanks and then calling a Panther Storm Pass, you can then immediately do it without necessarily having to set all it up ahead. So set up at that point. So that could be another idea. Could be machine gun bunkers. In fact, we got one here to cover the eastern fuel point and the western eastern victory point as well. Very nice work there. As for VonAsten, definitely should consider an assault here through there. Could be good. Also maybe an eastern push. Either way, if it's going to be a head-on assault, it's going to definitely require smoke from the mortar to minimise defensive firepower there from Ashablois. There we go, going through the centre, but without smoke screens. Not using grenades, upgraded for the infantry, at least so they don't smoke screens that way. Reinforced there by VonAsten. And the east assault there is not working out well either. We got the Sherman up the left flank here, trying to clear it out. Could even just use smoke from the Sherman. Just no smoke at all there. VonAsten I feel like was a bit of a mistake there on the assault. Howitzers ready to fire again here for Ashablois, and the 15th parts are going to be short. Troops routed. Smoke bombs again. This time it seems like maybe to obfuscate or just looking for artillery targets again. Looks like it's artillery targets again. And the tank and hitting fire from all the Grenadiers. Got to show them they're landing a decent hit on the Grenadiers. And got hard to fire again, missing again there as well. Not entirely sure what Ashablois having to hit that time around. Northeast shunting hits there. Mortar on the fire from the double Grenadier scores of the light machines, getting a few kills. Could maybe have landed a hit on the mortar, but guess that didn't happen. Trying to flank up, I think, behind the VonAsten forces of the west. Not a bad idea, though, without armor support. It's coming into issues once it encounters VonAsten's armor, so not entirely sure how much Ashablois acting is, but there you go. Got the Panther side north, command tank backing up as well there to make it a bit more likely to survive an engagement there. Very good. Lots of mines down. There we go. Looks like one of his own mines went off there. Line to tank, man a line here. Ashablois armor to catch up. The side's not to pursue, but the looks of it. Going to need to continue to grab eastern the western victory point here. 10-1 being seized there by VonAsten's forces. Quick sneak there with some junior officers there, the lieutenant. Anti-tank and M10 tanks on the move. M10 has gained veteran 2, very nice. Good preservation there by VonAsten. There you go, Panther straight ahead back up into the command tank, directly on the Panther 4 anti-tank and crew wiped out in the east. We got the MD4 2, there's the rifle squad doing some heavy damage there, M10s and the Sherman ahead. There you go, veteran 2 on the Panther 4, Pack 40 doing what he can as well there. Command tank is probably helping allow the Panther 4 to survive by decreasing the damage incoming by a bit. Oh, Sherman misses. M10 misses as well there. Pack 40 though is a bit cut off behind lines. And there you go. Swarm into filling up VonAsten, could have been a bit faster. And there you go. Looks like the Sherman does go down. Panther fast and the M10 tank destroyed right close to his own mine, which could theoretically set off. Pack 40 though is wiped. Sherman abandoned and destroyed. In the east, their assault, probing assault there is completely failed. But the west side there, the assault has been successful. Didn't get any sort of serious kills, but did grab the Pack 40, which could prove to be serious if VonAsten handles it well enough. 248 versus 269, victory points are now much closer as well. Stuart there, still at veteran 2. Damage engine on the command tank. Another Panther 4 ready. How to remain silent, though it seems like getting 2 kills more at some point. And getting ready for another massive barrage here versus VonAsten and the 6th Armoured. Quick silence the mortar here and the infantry that moves about it. Fixing up the M1 anti-tank, and there we go. That was a mortar hit though. Shot falls a bit short, and there you go. Big push into the base here. Got the command tank with the M10 and the Steward. A bold move there by VonAsten, very bold. Still getting the command tank to the big other Panther wing, and this shot bounces actually off the M10's armor. That is pretty lucky there for VonAsten. Nothing hitting in the mortar. Looks like Ashablois going to try here for the kill, at least on the Stewart of the Panther. A bit risky there. And ends up not quite paying off there. That Hounds of really has not been doing a lot of hitting there for Ashablois. Quite unfortunate, but there you go. Panther 4 going for it, but there you go. Stunned here by the Stewart light tank. M10 lands a nice hit, firing the 8-trap rounds. Ace level by the way, making it much more lethal. Good work there. There we go. Take out the Panther 4, leaving Ashablois now just with a regular Panther 4. Definitely should have taken out there for, while the Germans were their full pop kept just set up for like heavier stuff like the Panther with jump puncher here. But we got another command tank out there for Ashablois. Stuck in Panther 4 dreams. Panther 4 the rounds and knocks out the Stewart. They're driving VonAsten. They have 1 armored vehicle and he's a bit short there otherwise. He might want to get out some more tanks or tank destroyers. Well, of course, getting his Ace M10 fixed. More smoke bombs, more reconnaissance, and Hounds are firing again, likely hoping to hit something there. As usual, just seems to be missing, which is a bit unfortunate there for Ashablois. Command tank hanging up for this. Oh, there we go. Taking out half the mortar crew. I guess that's something there for Ashablois and the Deutsche Armee. Infantry to push on the tip of strange, and 94-2 is not quite working out there for VonAsten's assault. Is lacking a bit of elements there to make it all work out better. M10 there. Rushes as fast back as it did forwards. Infantry continue to hit against the Panther 4's. Pioneers need to be more careful before dealing with troops in the centre, but needs to quickly turn to the troops on the right flank. And there you go, quick turning about here in the east. Machine gun bunkers holding up there, the reassurance. Good work there. Air troops are being suppressed. Panzer IV could maybe to sort of deal with that. Anti-tank moving forwards. M10 almost fixed up. Victory points was at 222 versus 266 or 266. That was 266. Anyways, troops being suppressed. Got the Panzer IV moving to deal with them. 218 for Ashablois. Panzer IV down to a bit less health. Halfway to veteran fear, which is pretty good. Up here, troops reinforcing healing. Panzer Grenadiers, I think, could also help out Ashablois here. And Ace there moving up the right flank, engaged near the machine gun bunker. Push up for the centre with the Ace machine gun crew and a lot of Grenadiers there. Or Ace, of course, as well with the light machine gun. And to tank up near the bunker and knocks it out. Priming Ashablois and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers a fortification. Regular shell there for VonAsten and the 6th Armoured. 195 as a turn 66. Nothing happening in the west. In the east, it's where it's all happening, it seems. Troops are healing and forcing. Sherman, they're almost done there for VonAsten and the 6th Armoured Division. Grenadiers holding up here. Pearson charging the Grenadiers. Assault is moving up with camping towards the centre. MG42 sending out. Assault Engineers suppressed and routed. Anti-tank gun M10 moving ahead. Sherman moving out there for VonAsten. Oh, that was a close one. That could actually have been very nasty there, but got a few kills there, causing VonAsten to pretty much just get everything outside the bases. Realizes it's pretty much become a target range there for Ashablois howitzer. Ooh, nasty hit there. 14 kills. So that howitzer's making a much bigger splash there versus the Americans. Holy smoke, 17 kills. Nice response. They're setting up a retreat point here outside the base of counteractors. Thumbs up there to VonAsten. Very good and swift response. Ashablois still needs more armor, and again wouldn't I think benefit from tier 4 here at this stage. It seems less keen on that. And the usual mortar crew bug, where for some reason the skin sort of tries to stick to the gibs. If the crew of the body gets blown apart, it's a weird one. Close to finding another barrage there with the lighter Feldhaus beats, and they're trying to push through in the center before two Grenadiers. They're all bunched up. Possibly a bit too much. Just ready to fire again. We'll have to see, of course, where Ashablois decides to unleash hell. Again, another air reconnaissance move. Like here, we can see VonAsten's quickly moving stuff away there, but figuring out, hang on, this is going to become an artillery zone as soon as happens. He quickly disperses. Solid response there by VonAsten. Solid response. And there you go, Ashablois basically reacting without thinking, in this case, paying attention. So end up wasting artillery, but still really good response there for VonAsten. Now can use the base safely there. 2 thumbs up to VonAsten. 2 thumbs up. That's a well-trained and well-drilled response. Troops are hanging about on the east. West side here trying to push for the victory point. 171 to 253. Rifle off the M4 to got the M10 tanks already trying to crush the infantry. Not quite having any luck. Nice turn following up here. Another machine gun bunker up here for Ashablois to cover the centre victory point this time around. That were a command bunker, that seems less likely. Artillery fires obviously having no impact because there's nothing in the area. VonAsten very quickly made sure of that. (171 versus 240 feet). Air reconnaissance from VonAsten, who's probably trying to figure out his assault, where to call artillery in this case though. I think it might be to silence here Ashablois artillery by calling in his own howitzer barrage on it, silencing that threat to his further defences. There we go, crew annihilated. Advancing the west of the Pioneers, no armour support though. Howitzers still standing. I imagine old squirrels in, like, you know, quite a distance there are dead. just blown off the trees, just pulped. Panther moving in there, backed up by infantry, but they're taking heavy damage from the machine gun and the Sherman. Howitzers still standing. I can't imagine that lasts much longer. Okay, apparently it does. There you go, Howitzer finally down, alongside countless squirrels. A dark day in squirreldom, and VonAsten would be considered an enemy to all squirrels across the world. Anyway, Sherman in against the Grenadiers there. Troops advancing with packs and infantry there on the western victory point here. Almost got control of 3 there for VonAsten. Panther and the Sherman almost leaving here. VonAsten Sherman crippled and an easy target. Second Sherman almost done, as he's looking to make an orderly retreat here in the face of Ashablois' assault.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Infantry moves ahead. Looks like Ashablois making an assault there. Infantry, armour, anti-tankers moving up here. Infantry moving forward to VonAsten. Could get himself caught in here in a kill zone. Captain's almost wiped out already. M10 Sherman engaging with the German armour. Ace level Panzer 4 there, by the way. Very good, very good. Infantry continue to go, wiping out the Grenadiers. VonAsten counter-attack into Ashablois' assault seems to work out partly. Going for the support weapons, trying to buy time and clear, more importantly, clear out the Pack 40 and then the MG42. Good work there by VonAsten. Tanks and tanks are moving ahead now, going here for the tanks on the right flank, the more easy to deal ones. There you go, Panzer 4 there, trying to deal with infantry in the flank, but there you go, Pack and machine gun gone. M10 hammering away here at the German armour. Sherman is soaking out all the damage, allowing the M10 to continue to do more damage here versus Ashablois tanks. Very good work here, though of course the command tank does help soak up some of the damage. Still in the end, not enough. Command tank survives, but 1 Panzer 4 is down here. Sherman hanging away there. Infantry moving forward to getting suppressed here. Those Sherman down, machine gun almost taken out here. Heavy damage inflicted. There you go, kaput. Panzer 4 the ace level, but he's taking heavy damage here from the bazookas and the M10 tank destroyer. Ooh, that was a close one there, but didn't quite hit. Still a lot of bazookas there flying at the Panzer 4. Needs to get out of there. And looks like he might not make it. Ashablois too slow. And kaput. Panzerkampf Wagner is kaput, leaving only the command tank now. Ashablois' assault has completely fallen apart. I think attacking from too narrow a point in particular shouldn't attack for a choke point at VonAsten. I think that was a definite mistake there. Also attack from a rather obvious spot. Probably should look to attack from here instead. But our way though, suffering quite heavy casualties there in the process, allowing VonAsten to pull off a better assault and punish Ashablois. So for now, Ashablois has lost most of the active forces, leaving VonAsten here with, larger infantry complements. In fact, Ashablois down to just 1 Grenadier squad, no tanks, whereas Ashablois has got a tank destroyer, got a Sherman, and it's got a lot of infantry. So the situation for Ashablois is looking pretty grim, went from a reasonable position to an absolutely horrific state of affairs. So good work there by VonAsten, very good work. Sherman rolling in rapidly. Panzer 4 almost down. Sherman here pursuing the MG42 in the west. In the east, grabbing the victory point there as well. 171 was 146. Machine gun back out at the flank. A lot of machine gun guns there from Ashablois. A nice idea overall, and certainly some good thoughts there. Just, in the end, when you throw away all your tanks like that, they end up not mattering too much. Panzer 4 there ramming for Ashablois, but will it be enough against the ace tank destroying the Sherman? Bleeding out victory point, got 166 versus 144. Tanks are good to go there for VonAsten once more. Might want to crew that Sherman swiftly. Fighting for the CoH2 one here, a lot of into the VonAsten, taking out the mortar. We got Tilly called in there right at the edge of Ashablois' base. Sneaky play. Almost got the bunker and the machine gun with it. There you go. Machine gun crew expires. Almost got the bunkers on. There you go, Sherman. And M10 moving up in the west side here, going for the Panzer 4, flanking it there. Nice work here. M10 they're getting still hits on the Panzer 4. The Panzer 4 simply cannot match the firepower of the M10 crew. One more hit. Unit wiped out. They're full and VonAsten. There you go. That's another Panzer 4 down the drain. And there you go, Ashablois surrenders, a victory for VonAsten. Yeah, definitely not usual match here on Langraskaya due to how it was opened up there by Ashablois. Some missing moves there. I think there were some few missed opportunities there in the late game that Ashablois, I think, struggled there to attack from more angles, make it much easier for VonAsten to defend, and rather made for a very gruesome throw there in the end game. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell your enemies. If you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Do feel free to do so, as that could certainly help me keep doing this day after day. So links in the description of that. This is Pro Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.